Hello everyone, this is Admiral Playerovski bringing you Atlantic Fleet, the Battle of the Atlantic, as Britain this time. No wait, this is the wrong playthrough, hang on. Let's restart it. New campaign. There we go. Right, diving in immediately. We finished the Battle of the Atlantic as Germany, so now I think it's only fair that we try and have a go at the arguably much more difficult of the two, which is to try and defend the whole ocean from Germany's U-boats and surface raiders. Right, the first few weeks should be relatively uneventful. But, well, soon enough, things will start happening. It's week 0.5 of September 1940. I am tempted to do a certain something. If I go in here... Oh, I'll have to go through Germany anyway. Yeah. I want to get to the Baltic Sea, you see, because I kind of want to do something. But let's see if we... Can I buy any ships, actually? First of all, let's try and work that out. 10,000 renown available. I don't think we can, because anything that's good is too expensive, I think. Let's just scroll through these. If I wanted to get an A class, let's say 4,800. Yeah, go on. Let's get ourselves a couple of A class destroyers, seeing as they're the only ones we can afford right now. Right. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll move these ships in here for the time being, and quite a lot of these. Quite a lot of ships in here right now. Let's move some of these out. Castor and Codrington can begin to go out this way. Sheffield and Vampire can start getting into position as well. Oh wow! Immediately. In the United Kingdom in week 0.5 of September 1939, a warship was attacked by Allied aircraft. The destroyer Z4 received heavy damage. Well, that's very good. Very nice. What I want to do is see what happens if I try and help out and do something in the Polish campaign. Will anything happen if I go in here, perhaps? Can't really get into the Baltic proper, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep them there for, I don't know, a while, I think, and then if it becomes clear that nothing's going to happen, then I'll, withdraw them. So these are over here. UK waters are unprotected now. I'll move these guys back, actually, on second thought. All of you guys can move out in here. You guys can... you guys can continue to make your way up here. Everyone's moved now, haven't they? I'll have a look. Yes. Let's press on. In week 1.5 of September 1939, in the United Kingdom, a submarine was attacked by enemy aircraft. U-39 received heavy damage. Well, that's good. That will probably force them to go back to port, I would imagine. Let's see, you guys can Are we on the right? Yeah, we are. These are destroyers, these are... Right, yeah. So I'll have the submarines move up in this direction. And we've got 2 capital ships and 4 destroyers. So Warspite and Vanessa can go into this section over here. Suffolk and Vanity. Where should we place you? This is a rather dark blue colour here, so I think I'll temporarily place the Suffolk and Vanity over here. Yeah, you guys are pretty much fine as it is. Let's carry on. Right, so the submarines can continue heading on up here. Good. And let's see, you guys are here, you guys are here. Warspite and Vanessa can continue to make their way across to this section here, to the North American North Seaboard. That's where I always put the Warspite, mostly because this is the area that gets very little in the way of activity, which means the Warspite isn't put at risk. And also, if anything does happen to the Warspite, there's a port right here that we can put her into. Excuse me. Can we move these? No. They've already moved. Right, there we go. So now we've sort of got a sort of technically got a war going on here. If the Germans want to go out into the Atlantic, in theory, they would have to either go through here, where they'd be picked up by my submarines. This is in terms of surface ships. Or here, where they'd be picked up by my destroyer fleet, presumably with aircraft in support. Right, let's move the Warspite and Vanessa along one more. Still nothing happening. Week 3.5 of September 1939. Well, let's carry on. Still nothing. Very quiet so far. Germans are busy in Poland right now, I'd imagine, so we're probably not going out much, although there have been a few events here. Right, October 1939, that's where we are now. One more. Oh, we've got an event. In week 0.5 of October 1939, in the United Kingdom, a submarine was attacked by enemy aircraft. U-41 received medium damage, so they may or may not head back to port as a result. Right, it's week 1 of October 1939. I tried to do it. I tried to help the Poles out in their campaign. It didn't work, unfortunately, so for that reason we're going to have to withdraw this fleet out into the Atlantic. Yeah, this happened the last time I tried it as well, and so I'm not particularly surprised by this. But anyway, in week 1 of October 1939, in the United Kingdom, a submarine was attacked by enemy aircraft. U-35 received light damage. They could carry on with that. I don't think they'll be running away to port. Yeah, with light damage they'll probably stay out. Right, we've got to move all these ships as well. Let's move them in here for now, in the UK, where they're, in theory, relatively safe, but also not safe at the same time. Yeah, everyone else is roughly in position. Oh, would you look at that? In the North Atlantic, or Northwest Atlantic, in partially sunny weather, in week 1.5 of October 1939, the battleship Warspite and the destroyer Vanessa have picked up an enemy contact in the afternoon. It's the heavy cruiser / pocket battleship Lutzow, and the British get the initiative. Oh, I'm liking where this is going. This should be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Well, naturally Naturally, we should be quite good here, I would imagine. Warspite, I would say, is more than a match for the Lutzow by any stretch of the imagination. Let's target the Lutzow, of course. What sort of elevation should we have? They're saying 21.2. I will go with that, mostly because I have nothing better to suggest on my own. Right, wind. The wind is... it's a weak wind, isn't it? I'm going to gamble and say I don't need a correction. Right, well, here we go. Warspite, open fire, please. Shoot! We do need a correction after all. Right, what can the Vanessa do? Seeing as there's nothing better for you to do, just make a smoke screen and try and protect the Warspite in at least some capacity, even if it's limited. Lutzow opens up, 2 turrets are able to fire, and the shells fall short. That's good, that's good. We could just pretty much carry on as we were. We've got a broadside away. Now we're being told to go 17.1. But this, they're saying here it wasn't ultra far away. Have a look at the plots. I would be inclined to agree that in the 20s would be alright, I think. If I drop it down to 20.2 and we put on a small correction about here maybe. Shoot! Right, we've got some hits high up in the superstructure, but they're not going to be extremely helpful to us. But they will be helpful. Possible damage to radar and all spotters. They're still bringing in 2 turrets. Oh, here we go. Oh, not good, not good. Now we've been set on fire. Well, this is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. They've put their fires out. Excuse me. Just what do you think you're doing? I'm going to drop it down by a further 1 degree. Again, we'll correct as much as we did last time. Shoot! We've straddled them, but we've not hit them, and that's annoying. That's annoying. I don't like it when that happens. I don't like that. We're not really laying a smoke screen that well. Oh, it's just 1 turret firing now. Another hit scored. Possible damage to propulsion and or steering. We may need the Vanessa to be put in reverse. Oh good, we've put the fire out. That's good. I'm going to go down below 18 this time. I'll go 17.8. Put the guns about here. Shoot! Whoa! Fireworks from the Lutzow. That's a magazine detonation if ever I saw one. That's a magazine detonation. They're going under quickly, which further supports the notion that we got a magazine hit. Mind you, it was a bit silly of the Germans to try and attack. If you were the captain of the Lutzow in real life, what you would have done is you would have run away at the sight of the Warspite. Mostly because, well, you can't... well, maybe you could theoretically sink the Warspite, but you'd be sunk as well pretty much. And because you're faster than the Warspite, you would want to run away. And also because you've been ordered not to engage British capital ships, and this is basically the most capital of capital ships that Britain has at this stage in the war. Now, seeing as there aren't that many German surface ships, well, German capital ships, I will be staying to watch them sink, especially if they're sinking quickly like the Lutzow. If they're obviously refusing and being stubborn, then I may be persuaded to just press on and ignore it. No damage, of course, because we wouldn't have that information in real life, so we can instead head back to the Warspite and say congratulations on the first engagement. Oh, excuse me, it was a very good one. Let's press on. So, action report. On the British side, the battleship Warspite received medium damage. The destroyer Vanessa received no damage. And on the German side, the heavy cruiser / pocket battleship Lutzow was sunk for 12,000 tons. So, warship tons sunk on the British side 0, merchant ship tons sunk on the British side 0 again, and warship tons sunk on the German side is 12,000, and merchant ship tons sunk on the German side is 0. 12,000 renown earned. In the United Kingdom, in week 1.5 of October 1939, a warship was attacked by Axis aircraft. The destroyer Valorous received medium damage. Right, so the Valorous is here with medium damage. What's actually been damaged? Or is it just medium damage for no reason? Whoa! That's medium damage. I'm sorry, but that's heavy damage, I would say. A turret, X turret, and both sets of torpedo tubes destroyed. While you're going in for repairs into Scupper Flow. I tend not to put ships in repair into Liverpool and Portsmouth, mostly because the naval bases just get bombed all the time, so all my repairs get delayed. Right, well, let's move the Warspite and Vanessa back here where they should have been all along. Let's move the Renown and the Valentine over here. Renown will go into the, well, just where the Warspite was just now. Temporarily move everyone along, simply because I want to keep as much covered as I can. We've got some more renown, so I maybe... or should I wait? I might be persuaded to wait, just for the time being. I'd probably be wise to get the Berwick out of UK waters, though. Let's take a look at the convoy routes, and we've got, well, the areas with the highest activity we do have covered, strictly speaking. Unfortunately, we are still short down here near the African coast, but, well, that's just how it is for now. Oh wow! In the United Kingdom, in week 2 of October 1939, a warship was attacked by Allied aircraft. The battleship Gneisenau received heavy damage. Although this is the Bismarck, so... or Tirpitz, I guess. Probably Bismarck. But, yeah. Gneisenau with heavy damage. So, my guess is that they're going to be heading back to port. Could I take the Gneisenau on with what I have here? Yeah, easy. Easy. Especially with aircraft support as well. So they're going to be heading back into ports for quite some time, I would imagine. Right, let's move the Renown onwards. Yeah, go on, I guess we could temporarily have these go back here. Just so that we're covering more ground, even if it's only a temporary solution. Press on. Good, that's fine. Renown and Valentine can head into here. And so the Vega and Valix can head back up here. Yeah, but then just switch out the Sheffield and Vampire eventually as well. Right. Oh, here we go. It's week 3 of October 1939 in rainy weather. On the North American North Seaboard, the battleship Warspite with medium damage and the destroyer Vanessa have been picked up by the German submarine U-44 at noon. I hope this isn't one of those "we're going to take your ship away" type of arrangements. Nope, it's not. They've given us some distance. It's very nice of them. Can I see the torpedoes heading towards me? Not really, no. Let me just... Can I see the U-boat? Not really, no. If I just skip over to here... Torpedoes have been fired down here. What I'm going to do is what I usually do when I want to dodge torpedoes, backwards and hard port on this occasion. Not much I can do, because, well, we don't even have a sonar. Right, as for the Vanessa, however, this is the exact reason why I have a destroyer with any capital ship. In situations like these, what we can do is send the destroyer in to try and sort of help out a ship in need. Right, go to flank this time in harder port. Clear the torpedo. Yep, that's good. So race against time. Can we get close enough and potentially attack them before they're able to launch another set of torpedoes? Well, they won't be able to launch another set. All they'll be able to do is launch one. I'm going to have to keep the speed up, simply because well, it's easy to manoeuvre when you're at high speed. Right, 4,700, so we'll be able to turn and fire on the next turn. Unfortunately, they have fired as well. So that's going to be annoying for me. Torpedo's heading this way, so if I go harder port again, a full turn, does that mean we clear it? I would like to think it does, but, well, just because I'd like to think it does doesn't mean that that's what will happen. Right, this is my method of sinking U-boats. I close to within, well, a relatively close distance, but not quite point-blank range. Put a torpedo about here, fire it away, and then that should hit the U-boat and sink it, I would like to think. It works a treat most of the time. Oh! No, we got hit. We have got hit. We didn't quite manage to clear that torpedo there. The U-44 has been sunk. So, you win some, you lose some, I think. Right, action report. On the British side, the battleship Warspite ends with medium damage. The destroyer Vanessa ends with no damage. On the German side, the submarine U-44 was sunk for 1,032 tons. Warship tons sunk on the British side 0. Merchant ship tons sunk on the British side 0. Warship tons sunk on the German side 1,032. Merchant ship tons sunk on the German side 0. 1,032 renown earned. Oh good, we've got the Valorous, who was popped out of Scupper Flow. Good, so let's put her back here. Yeah, Renown and Valentine can get in here. Sheffield and Vampire can swap out here. And let's see. I don't really want anything more than destroyers in UK waters, because the turnaround in the UK waters is just so high. How many slots do I have left? 8. So quite a few actually, if you think about it. Let's send some ships away from the UK into other areas then. Well, I'd like to buy some more first of all as well. Let's get 2 more A-class. Oh, that's all we can get. Even if I wanted to get more, I can't. Right, so Exeter and Doncaster can go here. Achilles and Ajax, you can take... stay here for the time being. Right, now we can move these guys, but where do we move them to? Oh, it doesn't really matter where we move them to. Right. I guess you guys can just move in here then. These guys can now come down here. And from the UK we'll take the Achilles and Valorous. Right, we're sort of in position now, I guess, in a way. And then we've got some ships over here. We've got 1 light cruiser and 3 destroyers. I'd like to think this is ready now, set up. Yeah, I mean, we're covering all the convoy routes, so in theory this should be fine. Keyword being in theory, of course. It doesn't have to be. Ooh, this isn't fine at all though. In the Norwegian Sea in week 0.5 of November 1939, Allied merchants were attacked by submarines. 60,190 tons of merchant shipping sunk. So that's not fine at all. Ooh, here we go. This is interesting though. In the western approaches in sunny weather in week 0.5 of November 1939, the heavy cruiser Berwick and the destroyer Vimy have been, it seems like they've been intercepted by the heavy cruiser Blucher and the destroyer Z4, which was damaged heavily. But it's out at noon. And the Germans have the initiative. Here we go, this should be interesting. Seriously, that's what we're doing? They score hits and they set a fire immediately. You don't need me to tell you that that's very annoying. And probably quite inaccurate. Seriously? Secondary explosion already? What have they hit? So now there's 2 fires, right? Yeah, there's 2 fires already, before I've even done anything. The stern's underwater. Well, well, how am I supposed to respond to that? Apart from this being fanatically unrealistic, there's no way you'd be able to score a hit immediately with your first salvo. How am I supposed to deal with this? I mean, my gunnery is, I'd like to think it's decent, but come on. I have my limits too as well, you know. If that's what you're doing, then how am I supposed to respond? No way can I respond to that. Nevertheless, shoot! Oh yeah, you're not going to give me perfect shots, are you? Of course not. Right, harder port and make smoke. Would that even work for us or not? I'm not sure if it would. Probably not. Not at this time anyway. Fine. Harder port and just open fire on the German destroyer, and then we can have hopefully... Oh, excuse me, we can hopefully have the barrack finish off the destroyer. But that's not going to happen for quite some time. Can the Blucher miss this time, please? Because, well... If they keep hitting me like that, it's not looking good. Honestly, if I lose the barrack so quickly, though, I will not be happy. Shoot! I wouldn't usually do this, but circumstances sometimes force me to do things I don't like. And when I say they sometimes do it, it's most of the time. Really? That's what we're doing? We're looking very poorly already, after just 2 salvos. 2 salvos in and we're looking very poorly. I don't really want to lose a heavier ship. Mind you, I don't want to lose anything, but... Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Playing this as Britain, Battle of the Atlantic, it's much more difficult. Much more difficult. Right, how are we shooting? We were miles away, obviously, they were pinpoint accurate. Now we're being told to go down 9 degrees, or over 9 degrees even. I don't like how this is looking at all. We'll go down to about... I'll go into the 24s perhaps. Can't go about here maybe. Shoot! Oh, 1 hit scored. 1 hit scored. When I say 1 hit scored, it's obviously a very insignificant hit that probably won't even do any damage to them. It'll merely scratch the paintwork. Although I'm not sure it'll even do that. But nevertheless, that's what we've managed to do so far. Presumably they'll get a magazine detonation on the next turn, just because, well, that's how they do it. Shoot! Oh, we scored a hit on the destroyer as well. They're steaming in, not caring at all. More hits? Of course it is. Another hit. Just 1 hit this time though. Interesting, interesting. I think that's their worst salvo so far. So the Z4 also scores a hit. What am I supposed to... Well, that went well, didn't it? Fireworks from the barrack this time, and we're gone. Nothing was even damaged. AAA was heavily damaged. The pumps weren't even damaged. Like, I'm sorry, but... I have no words. I have no words. I have no words at all. Well... We've lost the barrack, quite clearly. This was one of our... it was the 3rd heaviest ship we have, I believe, along with the Suffolk. Behind only the Warspite and the Renown. Well, we'll watch her sink because, well... There's not that many capital ships that we get, and if they are lost, then there's no real hope of replacing them. But honestly, like, right from the get-go, I was unhappy with how this was going, and then that secondary explosion just, very annoyed. Very annoyed is how I felt after it. Well, quite clearly there's no way that we can match a heavy cruiser and a destroyer with just a destroyer. The final damage upon sinking was AAA heavy damage. Like, I'm sorry, but I think I was basically sabotaged here. Move. Nowhere. And what are we going to do here? Well, of course we're going to go flank, hard pull, make smoke and get out of here. Brilliant. If we can at least save the destroyer, then that would be at least something. But I've got a distinct impression that we're not going to be able to save the destroyer. It'll be hunted down and sunk as well. Unfortunately. Oh, how nice of you to not score hits. Just straddle me this time. Very nice of you. I know I said elite gunnery, but this is a bit unrealistic, I think. To get perfect hits like that immediately. Like, I'm sorry, but there's a difference between elite gunnery and absolutely pinpoint perfect gunnery that will sink you in 2 salvos. None. Right. We'll continue to run away as best as you can. Honestly, all I managed to do was score 1 hit on the blue shell. 1 hit out of several shells that were fired. That's all I managed to do. Really disappointed and annoyed at the same time. No, but of course I can't, can I? Not with 11,500 yards separating me and an enemy destroyer. My only hope now is literally to just go quicker than the Blue and hopefully get away that way. Unfortunately though, because the destroyer will be able to keep up with me, I don't see how I could possibly disengage. Nope, that's not damaged us. Oh no, it has. Sonar heavy damage, AAA light damage. Ah, well this is going splendidly, isn't it? Just let me disengage with the destroyer, please. Let me disengage with the destroyer. I can't even replace the ships I lose. Well, there go my hopes of getting out alive with the destroyer at the very least. Since we're going to lose the Vimy as well. Yeah, this just isn't going to work at all. It's just not going to happen. I think this is one of those very rare occasions where I actually will lose the battle. Not the Battle of the Atlantic, just this specific engagement. Oh yes, of course. You're so close and I'm so slow that you're basically just insulting me like that. Please let me disengage. Please. I promise to put you back into port as soon as we make it back, but we have to make it back first. All they've got is a slow list. Most are just waiting now for the Vimy to be sunk, because I don't believe that we'll be able to make it back. I don't see it happening. No, of course. Pumps heavy damage. Need I say more? Well, probably not, but I'll say more anyway. Exeter and AAA destroyed, ASW light damage. It's not a good start at all. Mind you, they lost a Lutzow as well though, so in theory we've kind of leveled it out. Well, in theory at least. And there we go. I kind of, yeah, this was just horrible in every way possible. So Vimy final damage upon sinking. It was the same as last time. Pumps heavy damage. Exeter and AAA destroyed. ASW light damage. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Action report. On the British side, the heavy cruiser Berwick was sunk for 10,500 tons. The destroyer Vimy was sunk for 1,300 tons. On the German side, the heavy cruiser Blucher was not sunk. received only light damage from, I think it was one shell hit, and the destroyer Z4 also only received light damage, again from just a single shell hit. Warship tons sunk on the British side 11,800, merchant ship tons sunk on the British side 0, and nothing sunk in either category on the German side. 0 renown earned. Nothing. Completely nothing. A big fat round 0. Well, bye bye Vimy. That's all. Now, of course. That's what we get as well. Oh yeah, put the Warspite here. This is an area that doesn't get much activity. Literally 2 engagements already. But anyway, once again in the North American North Seaboard, in sunny weather in week 0.5 of November 1939, the battleship Warspite, which has got medium damage, and the destroyer Vanessa, with no damage, have been intercepted by the submarine U-40 at dawn. Ooh, excuse me, U-40 has the initiative. Alright, so we're heading away from them. That's good. Mind you, I should probably put the Warspite in for some repairs. I can't quite tell which way the torpedoes are going. If I go about this much, just about clear them perhaps? I don't know. We're going to have to get the Vanessa turned around. Now this will be fun, won't it? How far away is the contact? Oh wow, 10,000 yards. So they're going to have an absolute field day firing at the Warspite. Yeah, this isn't going to go well, is it, now? Can we please clear the torpedo? That's not going to be enough, that's going to hit. It's going horribly, this whole engagement is going horrible. Well, not this specific engagement, but the battle so far is going very badly. There's a torpedo hit. Really not going well, really not going well. So propulsion and steering have got light damage. We'll try and run away at least. Attempt to run away. To get the Vanessa out of this firing line here. There we go. Oh good, we can see them on the sonar now. That's good. Warspite very heavy at the rear. We're going to have to put her in for repairs, like, I'm sorry, but we just will. Make smoke so that then they can't actually gauge precisely how far away you are. It probably won't make much difference to how they fire, but, well, I'll deny them any help I can. Now in theory, as we move away, it'll get harder and harder for them to fire accurately at me. And that's a good thing. That I would say is a good thing. Oh, they've gone for the destroyer anyway. Good. The Vanessa is very nimble and agile, so no problem dodging that one. Especially when you give me a lot of warning like this. Which way should we go? We fired it that way. I'll go to port maybe? I think 10 degrees to port will dodge it very much. Yeah, there's no way that's hitting us now. More good news in the form of being able to turn and fire my torpedo on the next turn as well. Yeah, we're clear. Oh, another one! Oh, this isn't so good. That's not so good, I wasn't expecting that. Can't disengage with the Warspite. Oof. If I do a really hard turn to starboard at 33 knots, can that bring us round enough? Yes, I think it can. Oh yes. Alright, you want to play with torpedoes? Let's play with torpedoes then. I am of course aware that this isn't how things happen in real life. Destroyers didn't fire torpedoes at U-boats to sink them. But again, this is one of those instances where the game is different compared to how real life would have looked. Good, so that's U-40 sunk as well. We actually managed to do something positive this time. Yeah. Look at that, action report. On the British side, the battleship Warspite received, well, ended with medium damage, but was hit by another torpedo. The destroyer Vanessa received no damage, and the submarine U-40 on the German side was sunk for 1,032 tons. Warship tons sunk, well, nothing sunk on the British side in either category, whether that be warship tons or merchant ship tons. On the German side, 1,032 warship tons were sunk and no merchant tons were sunk. 1,032 renown earned. Oh wow. This is going to turn into a long episode, I know, but oh well. In the North Atlantic or Northwest Atlantic, in mostly sunny weather, in week 0.5 of November 1939, this time it's the battlecruiser Renown and the destroyer Valentine have been intercepted by the submarines U-33 and U-36 at dawn. The German submarines have the initiative. Hang on, that's a bit close, don't you think? Are we going to be squashed between the two? Of course, fire away at the Renown. How far away are they? They're not very far away at all, are they? Well, starboard 30, full turn. Get out of here! Ugh. Right, well, what can we do? There's not a whole lot we can do, unfortunately. I do believe the best we can do, literally, is just to ram at this point. I mean, I can actually see the submarine down here. Or should we attempt to fire with the guns? We might as well. We might as well. I've got no idea what sort of elevation to use here. Maybe half a degree, or one even. I'll go half a degree. Shoot! Yeah, that's not gone well. Oh, hang on. But we are relatively close with the Valentine. If I turn just a tiny bit to starboard, we're close enough to fire torpedoes. Oh, good. Right, so we can cease firing with the Renown. Fire away. Right, we will have dodged those torpedoes, so we should be fine in that respect. Well, we've dodged that specific set. We've got one more closing in on us right here. Come on. Good. That's U-33 sunk. And now, of course, we have a bunch more behind us over here. Now, what do? We're not going to clear all of them, are we? Hard port then. Try and clear somehow. Yeah, we're going to get hit up the backside with one. Maybe it would have been better if we just pressed ahead. But I don't know. I mean, you only know that in hindsight, really, so I can't be too mad at myself. So both capital ships will have to go in for repairs, basically. Because battle cruisers don't like being hit with torpedoes. As a result, if we do get hit, which I'm guessing we will, in for repairs you will go. Even though it was on the stern. But a hit on the stern is enough to cause damage to propulsion and steering, with propulsion receiving light damage and steering heavy damage. Well, in that case you go backward. I don't want you running into the other ones. Once we managed to avoid those other three. Mind you, that looks perilously close. Are we going to avoid that one as well? I think we will. I think it just looks a lot worse than it is in reality. Oh, they've run out of steam as well. How are we looking? Steering still with light damage. We can get you back up to flank now. And then steering will be back on the next turn, so we can turn and run. Right, we've got steering control back, so let's make smoke and run away. Good. So we're exactly behind them now, or in front of them, I guess. They're behind us, and we're in front of them. Perfectly. So the only thing they can do is fire at the stern, which is to hit the propellers again and the rudder. Unless they become interested in my destroyer, the Valentine. But I'm not sure they will be. Oh no, they are. They fired 2 torpedoes at the Valentine. Right, well, Renown survives. Ish. Just about. Let's see, you've got 2 torpedoes heading towards you this way. So if I turn you a little bit to starboard. There we go. That should be fine. We're right in between the torpedoes, aren't we? Yes, we are. Good. Good. That's all right. Disengage? Not yet. Keep running away. That's all we can do at the moment. Oh, excuse me. Keep closing that distance. Yeah, we'll turn and fire on the next turn. No action. Still can't disengage, but that's fine. Right, hard starboard then, and stand by the torpedo tubes. Right, we've got 5. More than enough to be able to sink this submarine over here. E-36, I believe. Yeah, whatever. Come on. There we go. And that's that done then. Good. U-36 has been sunk. Right, action report. On the British side, the battlecruiser Renown received light damage, the destroyer Valentine received no damage. On the German side, the submarines U-33 and U-36 were sunk for 800 tons each. Nothing sunk in either category on the British side in terms of warship or merchant ship tons, and 1,600 warship tons were sunk on the German side. No merchant ship tons sunk on the German side. 1,600 Renown earned. Right, in Cape Verde, in sunny weather, in week 0.5 of November 1939, the heavy cruiser Exeter and the destroyer Acasta, escorting a convoy of merchant ship large freighters and a C2 freighter, have been picked up by the submarine U-38 at noon. The Germans have the initiative. Right, so this freighter is getting sunk. Yeah, Exeter, you could get out immediately because, well, there's not much that a heavy cruiser can do here against a U-boat. Right, you turn in immediately and try and hunt down the U-boat. No air support, of course. as you'd expect. I have to do individual instructions for all the convoy ships. You go hard at port and try and get out. You can also do the same. This is the one I'm concerned about. No, it's not. No, it's not. This isn't one I'm concerned about right at this moment. This is the one that's basically getting hammered. I mean, what can I do here? What can I do here? There is no way I can avoid getting hit by it, by at least one of them. Try and do something, at the very least. Here we go. There's one hit already. We're on fire. I'm expecting it to blow up any moment. Continue to run away, please. Yep, there we go. So that's the first ship we've lost officially. Let's not do an event. Let's just check the damage. Yep, propulsion and pumps with heavy damage. And the large freighter is sinking. Right, well, at least the Acasta's done its turn now. This large freighter is looking in trouble as well. Can we clear it this way? Nope, we can't. Can we clear this one? No, but we can try and turn away from it. No, that's not going to help us very much. Oh, for goodness sake! Could we please hold on to these freighters? They're really important. No, I don't really have a way to... Can I try and turn hard? Oh! That's close! Look at these two so close together. Right, well... Yeah, you've been hit, your propulsion's damaged. Light damage though, so should be up and running next turn. You've received heavy damage to steering and light damage to propulsion. Continue to run away though. Hard at port. Right, they'll be firing another one. But we're going to turn away in time, hopefully. Or even slow down and turn. Well, that's also something we could possibly do. Right, how far away are we? We're still far away. Maybe not far away, but far away still. Yeah, you turn and run away that way. You're still damaged. And you have a torpedo heading for you. So let's turn you to port. Alright, here comes the torpedo. Yeah, we should have cleared that one. That's very nice. We've cleared it. No action from U-38. Right, well that's good. We don't want any action from U-38, apart from it sinking. Right, harder starboard, we'll do some action then. Stand by the torpedo tubes. Right, let's get that one fired away. Right, even if they fire a torpedo now, it's not going to matter particularly. Move forward. I'll turn back to starboard. That's alright. Yeah, you continue to turn just to make sure. There we go. Right, well, we've missed this one at the very least. No action? Well, no action from you, but I'll give you some action now. That's for sinking my freighter. Right, well, there we go. It's done. Action report. On the British side, the heavy cruiser Exeter and destroyer Castor received no damage. One merchant ship large freighter was sunk for 7,800 tons. One received light damage, and the C2 freighter received light damage. On the German side, the submarine U-38 was sunk for 1,032 tons. Warship tons sunk on the British side 0. Merchant ship tons sunk on the British side 7,800. Warship tons sunk on the German side 1,032. Merchant ship tons sunk on the German side 0. 1,032 renown earned. Right, this is already a very long episode, so I'm going to end it here for the time being. We've lost our first square on the tonnage war, currently losing 23,000 tons per month. We do have a positive kill ratio so far. 2 naval vessels sunk for Britain and 6 for Germany, so that's 1 for every 3. 16 merchants sunk. This is in visual terms. So I guess these two can balance each other out, so to speak. And the Vimy, I guess, well, more than balances out these submarines that were lost. But yeah, that would be all from Admiral Playerovski for this video. If you enjoy the content I put out, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.